baguette. I'm on my way to a brand new kit.
Welcome back, eSIMstudios. It would help if I can get my camera right, wouldn't it? Lord have mercy. There we go. How's everybody doing today? eSIMstudios YouTube channel, eSIMstudios podcast, eSIMstudios live stream. How's everybody doing today? Super late. I think this is the latest I've ever been. Is it my fault? Yes. But I've had a very, very busy day. I actually got all 3 of my S26 Ultras ordered. Now, I was on the phone with Samsung literally for an hour and 43 minutes. They had a problem with their website, problem with their Shop Samsung app. It wasn't registering my multiple trade-ins, right? It was driving me insane. And I hate it when they push you to their chat, right? They want you to do everything on chat. I'm like, no, I don't want to do chat. I want to talk to somebody. Like, and I was frustrated, right? I'm spending thousands of dollars. I just want to get this completed. I got it completed. So thank God, move that to the side. The colors I'm getting, look, colors this year sucked, right? Samsung, if you're watching this, your colors this year, they blow. I got 2 black ones and a white one. That's how much they suck this year. So not happy about that. Good news is I'll probably use D-Brand. Been in touch with them. I think they're going to sponsor a video. I got in touch with them. What was it? So honestly, that's why I kind of haven't ordered anything yet. Well, except today. I think they're going to send me some skins. So I was like, I don't know. Whatever. The colors this year sucked, right? Even the exclusive colors, and this is the first time that I've really been undecided on what colors to get. Every year, whenever Samsung releases their models and or their colors, I'm always like, boom, that's the one I want. I want from the very beginning. They always catch me. This is the very first year. I don't know what the hell I want. Samsung exclusive colors typically is what I go for. They look boring, right? Silver, really? Gold, pink gold, right? No. The purple I'm not getting, although look, I don't watch that many tech YouTube videos just because I don't want my opinion swayed one way or another. I watched Flossy Carter's. That's one YouTube channel I'll always watch, Flossy. And he did his case reviews. I think the purple's not too bad. At first, I was like, it's girly, but it kind of looks bluish in some different angles. But whatever. I didn't want to get that. I didn't want to get the white because I have a white one right now. The blue, I was considering getting the blue, but I don't know. Here's the thing. For somebody like me that does a ton of case reviews, that has a ton of cases, kind of depends because a lot of these cases don't look good on a pink phone, right? Or would look weird, or just not weird, but out of place on a light blue phone. So I was like, whatever, I'll just get black. It goes with all the cases. And plus D-Brand reached out and said they're going to send me something. So I'm like, well, screw it. I'll just probably throw a skin on it and call it a day. But we got 3 ordered. So how's everybody doing today? Now, yeah, he is amazing. He's cool too. If you've ever, I've talked to him a few times on behind the scenes. We were in talks, believe it or not. I was going to produce a podcast for him, like an audio only podcast. He watches the channel, my channel, and I've talked to him on Instagram and called him and messaged him a number of times over the last couple of years. And we were actually getting ready to do a audio only podcast. I was showing him how to do it and telling him all these sponsorships I can get for him and all this stuff. But he's busy and I'm busy, and I'm not sure we just have time to make it work. But he's honestly the one YouTuber that inspired me to start the channel. He encouraged me to. So I'll always watch his stuff. He's awesome. Yeah, purple's not too bad. It's growing on me, right? Give me 1 second. I actually linked up my Google Messages. Hang on 1 second on my computer here. So I'm actually recording or using my personal phone, which I never do, as my webcam. So I'm getting all these messages flooding in from. Give me 1 second. I think we're gonna do a giveaway here. So give me just a second. Hang on. Jesus Christ. Today's been crazy. Yeah, so panting like a dog. I've been working like a dog today. I'll tell you what, man. You love dbrand? I've never used a skin, never used dbrand. Um does it come off when you if you here's one of the things I want to try. When you put on lots of different cases, does it start to peel? Because I think on the back will be fine. It's just on the sides, right? Because the back is just a flat panel. It's not like it has any curvature to it. So I think the back would be fine, but the sides might come off. But whatever. I guess we'll find out. Your titanium, yeah, yeah, that's a classic one. That's a classic one. So, what do y'all feel? Let me pull up. How do y'all feel about the 8-bit display? That came out today, and the 8-bit display and the UFS no display came out yesterday. UFS storage came out today. Does that discourage you from buying the phone? Now we'll jump right into that because I think will it discourage you from buying the phone? I think it will some people. Now it's funny because I was like, I know there are some phones out there that have 10-bit displays, right? So if you ask Google, I went on Gemini and I typed in, so what current flagship Android, or I said what current phones, flagship phones, because I didn't want to exclude iPhone if it had it, has a true 10-bit display. It gave me 3 phones. It gave me the OnePlus 13. It gave me the OnePlus Open. And it gave me the Xiaomi 15. Now, I don't know if that's entirely true. I didn't do the homework on those, like actually look into it. But I was like, huh. I mean, I can believe that maybe for OnePlus because they went from a 2K display down to a 1.5 from the 13 to the 15. I don't know about the Open. It's been out for like 2 years, so I didn't know if that was true. And then the Xiaomi 15, they're already on the 17, right? So I'm like, I don't know if that's right. But I was in a hurry. I was doing a lot of stuff today, so I just briefly glanced at it. But I was like, those were some interesting results. Look, even though their 8-bit display, it did also say, and I already knew this, but it's very common for them to have a true 8-bit display, but actually produce video that's on that display in 10-bit form. So it essentially upscales it, kind of like what they do for like 4K upscaling. If you buy a large TV and or a big monitor, it'll upscale like a 1080p resolution content to a 4K content. I know we just got a 70-inch Samsung for our living room, a month or 2 ago, and it said it was upscaling. So it essentially does the same thing. Now, weird thing is Pixel says they have a 24-bit display, but it's actually 8-bit. So all these claims, I don't think you'll be able to tell the difference. But you just expect it to be a 10-bit display, and especially if Samsung did kind of hint at that during their launch of the phone, the announcement of their device. Now, I didn't go back and search for the footage if they actually said that or not, or if it was in the fine print, but from the couple articles that I glanced at today, Samsung did put something out there when they did announce the device that it had a 10-bit display. But look, I don't think it's going to be it's going to be a bright, colorful display. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Didn't prevent me from buying 3, right? So my biggest thing is the UFS storage. So, and everybody's different, right? But if I had to choose, obviously both would be great. UFS 4.1 and a 10-bit display. That's what you would expect from the Ultra name. If I had to choose one or the other, it would be UFS 4.1 storage. The OnePlus 15 is lightning fast, opening apps, editing videos. Obviously, the UFS storage doesn't necessarily have to do with editing videos. It has to do more with on-device storage, how fast your storage moves between the device, inside the device. So like opening apps, certain content, that's what makes your phone feel nice, fast, and fluid. Actually connecting to a PC, transferring stuff to and from your phone, in and out of your phone. That's where the UFS storage comes in. And that's why OnePlus has always had a buttery smooth operating system, is because it's always had the latest and greatest UFS storage. Now, I'm not going to say that this S26 Ultra is going to feel sluggish by any means. I'm sure it'll be pretty friggin' good. But makes you wonder, Now, I put out a short just about 30 minutes ago, what I recorded earlier today. I think it has to do with money, right? It has to do with them not wanting to raise the price of the S26 series and or S26 Ultra for its consumers. And that's why they didn't put a 10-bit display on there. That's why they did not put UFS 4.1 on there. Next year, it's a different story. Next year, we expect them to raise the price across the board. Next year, we expect all new sensors. Next year, I'm gonna give them a mulligan this year. I'm not gonna criticize them too much because I understand why they did it. Now, next year's a different story. Next year, as I mentioned, they are going to raise the prices. Next year, you are going to get all new hardware in your camera sensors. Next year, I expect them to put a 10-bit display. Next year, I expect them to put UFS 4.1 storage. And if they don't, they deserve to be blasted. It just kind of sucks this year with the timing of it. How this morning, or what was it, this morning or yesterday morning, I see the pre-order sales are off the charts. A lot of people are ordering this phone. It's surpassed records even in South Korea, in its home country, selling 1.5 times the amount of pre-orders for the S26 Ultra specifically than last year with the S25 Ultra. And the S25 Ultra in South Korea blew away records for the S24 Ultra. So this year it looks to be the same, right? I mean, it looks like it's well on its way to sell even more. And Samsung had a feeling this was going to happen. They actually produced more right off of the bat at the very beginning of the S26 Ultra than they did for the 25 Ultra or 24 Ultra. So I don't think it's making that big of a deal. It'll be interesting to see next year, but it's just the timing of it is jacked up, right? It's like right in the middle. Why couldn't we know this right at the very beginning? Because I guarantee you there's a number of people that already placed their order. Now, I'm a little late. Normally, I place my pre-order from day one, but I was taking my time this year. I guarantee you there is a number of people that placed their order day one, expecting a 10-bit display, expecting UFS 4.1 storage, and then they get the news that it's only an 8-bit display. It's only UFS storage 4.
Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra SMS. Could you clarify if you're
Really?
asking about checking storage options?
Golly. Anyways, where was I? I think some people, did y'all hear that? Yeah, it went off. I think some people that ordered from day one are maybe feeling a certain way. I'm sure there's even a couple people that even canceled their order because of this. But I personally don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think honestly you'll be able to tell it. I think there's a lot of people that can't, that think they can tell the difference in the display between an 8-bit and a 10-bit, but I'm not too sure of that, right? Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Should you upgrade from your Galaxy S25 Edge? That's a good question. Where's your battery life? I got phenomenal battery life with my Edge. It depends. It depends. You will get better battery life with the S26 Ultra. How much were they offering for trade-ins for that Edge? I saw it on the list, but I don't think it was up there at right around $900. I think it was around $600. I think it was for the Edge. Look, I can't tell you what to do. The decision is obviously yours. But it might not be, if you're happy, if you're satisfied with it, if there's not something that you really wish you had, or that's why I ask about battery life. You know, depending on where your battery life is, if that really bothers you, if you're not getting great battery life, yeah, I would upgrade. But that's a phenomenal phone. Pictures and or video should be better with this S26 Ultra. It does share 2 out of the 4 sensors that the S26 Ultra has. Now these are just the Ultras are tweaked a little bit more. It allows more light to come in, so you will get better photo quality, you will get better video quality, you will look better at night shots, night videos, stuff like that. You get great. See, that's what I'm saying. I got better battery life on my S25 Edge than on my S25 Ultra. I love that phone. So if you like it, if you love it, no need to upgrade. I mean, if I was only using one phone and I had the S25 Edge, honestly, and let me be honest, I'm only upgrading to the S26 Ultra because I have a YouTube channel. I honestly believe if I did not have a YouTube channel and I didn't do all these case reviews and all these accessories reviews, I don't think I would have. Well, I'm getting horrible battery life with my S25 Ultra. Now, again, a lot of subscribers know it's because I'm on the beta program, but let's say I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would get out of the beta program on my S25 Ultra and I would factory reset it, see how battery life is then. If I had normal battery life, I don't think I would upgrade, honestly. It's essentially the same phone. I mean, it is. So, well, good to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I would, if you're happy with it, I would just keep it, honestly. And even with the S27 Ultra, that's when they're supposed to upgrade everything. New design, new cameras, 10-bit display, UFS 4.1. You can buy a trade-in and get decent amount of money for it, trading it into Samsung, because that's what I did today. I went over to eBay, bought some trade-in devices, and I'm gonna get a decent amount off for that. There's certain ways around it, you know, with the trade-in stuff, but the S25 Edge is a very, very underrated device that nobody talks about nowadays. I love that phone, and I think people that have it know exactly what I mean, and people that have never used it, they don't know, you know, they don't know how good of a device that is. And it's going to be a classic. They're not making any more. They're not making an S26 Edge. They're not making an S27 Edge. That'll be a collector's phone right there. I would probably hang on to it, honestly. Yeah, keep it till next year. It's a great phone. Battery life's good. Cameras are decent. So there's no there's no point. See, that's the thing with 10-bit and 8-bit. You see that color difference? You're like, whoa, that's a huge color difference. 1 billion colors compared to 16 million colors. But then you think about it and you're like, can I even tell what 16 million different colors looks like? How am I going to be able to tell the difference between 16 million and 1 billion? That's the thing. I personally don't think you'll be able to tell. I just don't. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but 16 million seems like a lot of colors to me, right? Like, how am I going to know a whole... I don't know. We'll see. I wanted to find out if I could grab a 10-bit display device. Although the OnePlus 13, if that's true, maybe y'all could could find that out for me. If that's true, the OnePlus 13 has a damn nice display. Yeah, I don't think they can either. I don't think they can either. Now, in one thing with the Samsung thing before we move on, this year is weird. I've ordered my flagship devices every single year from Samsung since the S8, and that includes the Note 7 and the Note 8 that blew up from Samsung. Every single year. This is the first year I can honestly remember they have not shipped the phones early. So we're technically in the second week of the pre-order phase, right? There's 2 weeks, last week and all this week. Every single year, Samsung would ship out the devices if you ordered them during the beginning half of the second week. So technically, today's Tuesday of the second week. I went back and looked. The last 3 years, my device shipped on that Tuesday of the second week. And I was asking the guy I was on the call with earlier today, just trying to pick his brain. Are y'all going to ship them early? You know, every year in the past, you've shipped them at the beginning of the second week of that pre-order. No, says March 11th. They'll come to you on March 11th. I'm like, March 11th? That's next Wednesday. So I don't know. I guess they're typically Google will ship them early. Samsung ship them early. I think Apple even got me the iPhone one day early, but very weird this year. You got an S23 Ultra from T-Mobile 11 days. 11 days? Wow. That's insane. That's crazy. Now, let's move on real quick. Did you see the Nothing for a Pro teaser? Now, we were wondering if there was even going to be a 4A because there's been so much focus. Excuse me. We were wondering if there was even going to be a 4A Pro because there's been so much focus on the 4A with the pink one, the blue one now, and the white and the black one. Well, it looks like there is going to be a 4A Pro. So Nothing put out a teaser today. And it's interesting because they're not necessarily going to have the same glyph bar from last year or even the glyph boxes from the 4A this year. It looks like Nothing is going to bring the glyph matrix, the circle design that we saw on the Nothing Phone 3. Looks like they're bringing that to the Nothing 4A Pro. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So they put this little teaser out here for us today. Right. Where is it? There we go. That's what they gave us. March 5th. What is it? When's the launch date? March 5th, I don't know, 11 a.m., something like that. So that's what they're going to give us. We're going to get the glyph circle. That's on the back of the 3. It'll be on the 4A Pro. Now, I have no plans, no intentions on getting the Pro version, especially not now that the periscope lens that was reserved for the 3A Pro, they're putting that same periscope lens on the cheaper 4A. That's going to be the one to get. That's the one they're going to sell most. But it's interesting. I'm assuming, done with the bars, glyph bars, and they're going to rock the glyph boxes, squares, and the circular glyph matrix from the Phone 3. So, very interesting to see that. Yeah. So, let's see here. I guess I missed this one. So, getting back to Samsung. So, I wanted to, and I think I've found something else out in regards to how Samsung is splitting their their Exynos 2600 CPU and the Qualcomm Snapdragon CPU between the different markets. It looks like all of the S26 models in the United States, the S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra are all getting these Snapdragon variants. We thought that we might get Exynos 2600 in the base model or possibly the Plus here in the US. It looks like this year, all US S26 models are getting the Snapdragon variant. Now, I wanted to buy an Exynos variant just to try it out. It looks like it's a beast. Samsung, from what I understand, they are very happy and pleased with where the 2600 is, how it's performing. They're very happy with the thermals, with the battery life, with the power. They're just putting that much more resources into the upcoming Samsung Exynos 2700 CPU. And they're also going to be putting this Samsung Exynos 2700 CPU in the Samsung Galaxy S27 series in more markets next year, with a hopeful full rollout of the Samsung Exynos 2800 in the entire S28 lineup. I know that's still a couple years away, but remember, Samsung would love to provide all of their Galaxy devices with their own processors. They're just using Qualcomm Snapdragon processors because they can't get their shit together with their CPUs. But they would love to be like Apple, right? They want to have their entire ecosystem run off of Samsung products, or at least the phone, CPU. The GPU in these things look badass. Very powerful. So just keep that in the back of your mind that as we move forward, the Exynos brand of CPUs are going to start spreading their wings into more and more units and more markets, and eventually they will be exclusive to the Galaxy lineup, right? Yeah, we're gonna see. I wanted to get my hand on them on one of these, and I still might. I'll probably have to order it on eBay. I'll probably just get the small one, S26, just to see what it's like. I think they finally nailed it with this GAA process. Apparently the heating is gone with the way they pack this new CPU. It looks cool. It looks really cool, and I'm happy for them. Look, I've had a few Exynos CPU devices before. A couple were great, a couple sucked, right? And I think that's just that's a pretty average experience, right? Some are good, some are bad. There's really not much in between. But with this new process, this new packing process, I really think they have something on their hands. So I'm very intrigued into seeing how this sprouts and where we go with this, right? And definitely keep an eye on it. Didn't know Samsung had their own microchip. Yes, they've had them forever. Honestly, I remember using the was it the S2 that had the Exynos, and then they put it in the S6 Edge, I think it was, with the curved screen. That was globally. They've tried, and let's be honest, they failed, but they have, and that's why they've had to fall back on Snapdragon, right? Now it costs them money. It's cheaper for them to use their own products, obviously. And I think Qualcomm might be a little worried here for the future. Because I can certainly see Samsung moving all Exynos here pretty soon. And I'm all for it. If they can put a good product out, I am all for it. Yes, that's true. That is very true. Let's see here. Apple released this whole MacBook Neo, right? The cheaper MacBook that has the, what is it, the iPhone 16 CPU in it. Well, here's a good article that says what compromises are there. So what did Apple have to cut back on to enable this MacBook to be $599? And believe me, they're going to sell a gazillion of these things. These are going to be sold out wherever you go. This is, I don't know why they didn't do this earlier. They're probably kicking themselves because they're so late to the party. But let's see real quick what are some of these specs? What are they cutting back on to get that price down there, right? So it's bringing a 13-inch liquid retina display, 2408 by 1506, 500 nits brightness. It's about average. It's going to have some bezel. It's going to have Touch ID, dual firing speakers, spatial audio, 1080p front-facing camera. It's going to have cool, bright colors. However, at $599, they're going to have to make some cuts. So where did they make the cuts? Well, at the very start of it, we can just go right to the processor, because it essentially has a phone processor in there that's modified. They didn't just technically take the CPUs that were for the phone and stick them in the laptop. I mean, kind of is, but it's kind of not, right? They have to modify some of these things. So what they did is they put in 8 gigs of RAM. Now, if you've used MacBook before, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like a Windows PC that requires a lot of RAM, but it's a modified RAM, right? And this tweet right here kind of shows you a different type of RAM, or RAM that they had to modify, that essentially disperses the memory a little quicker, and or how it's kind of hard to explain, but how it's packaged. There's a good article I wish I would have linked here at the bottom of the article that I read some of today, but it's just a new, faster, more intelligent RAM that handles everything a little easier. So it's not your typical just 8 gigs of RAM, a little more intelligent than that, right? It has a new packing process that TSMC integrated into here. Now, the SSD, so it has, does it say virtual RAM? They put a smaller battery in there. What did they do with the Thunderbolts? Here we go. That's another part. So there's no Thunderbolts and just 2 USB Type-C ports. Now, one is USB Type-C 3.0, another one is USB-C 2.0, which is a little on the slower side, but you can't expect them to put Thunderbolt ports in a $500 or $600 MacBook, right? So look, they're cutting the corners. It's going to be a decent device. Overall, it'll be a great first device for kids, teenagers, right? Maybe just something you need to check emails on. Definitely wouldn't get it for heavy tasking, multitasking, editing videos, anything like that. But look, it's going to be a basic PC, right? Nothing special about this. Mainly the most special thing about these are the colors. Now, Pixel feature drop. Boy, Pixel, they are clever with whenever a new phone comes out. You see all these companies trying to drop hints and, hey, attention over here, attention over here. You see nothing trying to do that with their new 4A and 4A Pro. And Google's dropping feature drops for their Pixels. Apple's trying to take some attention with all this. Of course, Mobile World Congress is here, but if you have a Pixel and if you got some feature drop stuff, some of this is pretty cool. Some of this is pretty cool. I wanted to run through this. I'm running out of time. We'll do a giveaway here. But if you do have a Pixel, there are some pretty neat feature drop features for you. What is this? Comfort View. You can kind of redesign, customize your home screen, some icons and stuff like that. And that's the number one knock when it comes to Pixel. I love Pixel, y'all know that, but for some people it can not necessarily get boring, but stagnant maybe is the better word. So I think Team Pixel, the people over at Google, they know this, right? So they're trying to throw in some tweaks. You got to give them credit on some stuff, right? They are trying, and we will give them credit for that. So This upcoming feature drop is more customization intensive tasks, material themes, changing your icons, M3 expressive material rolling out. You'll see some new animations. You'll see there's a new magic cue that is updated. Now, some of these will only be on the Pixel 10 series. It will roll out to older devices later on. Sucks, but they all do this. At a glance is expanding with new types of information, more expanded information, more in-depth information. You also get connected cameras. So if you connect your Pixel to a PC as a webcam, to your Pixel to a DSLR camera, they're trying to implement this display port that's in the Type-C plug. They're trying to expand that a little more and open more horizons. Their desktop mode still not usable in my opinion, but look, they'll get there, right? So there's more of a Gemini integration. Circle to search got a little more in-depth information. Some other Pixel features. Damn, I'm getting a call right now on the live. See, this is why I shouldn't have used my webcam. My phone is my webcam. Let me shut up. Let's do a giveaway. I gotta get out of here. That's what I get for doing a live stream so late. All right, so let's do this. Let me pull up my. I gotta get out of here. Let me pull up my giveaway tool, and we'll do a giveaway. I'll do Cash App or Amazon gift card, right? Come on. Let me remove this. Let me add. Let me add this. And let's do StreamYard giveaway tool. I'm gonna start planning for a CMF Phone 2 Pro giveaway. I mentioned that I think on a stream or a video or two ago. I want to do a phone giveaway here in the next month or two. So whenever I purchase it, I'll promote it for a week or two pretty heavy, and then we'll do the phone giveaway here. But why don't we do hashtag gift? Hashtag gift in the chat. I'll give you a minute or so to enter hashtag gift in the chat. And let me answer my message here from my daughter, and then I'll get out of here. All right, we got a good number of sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. If you're in a country that does not have, I guess Cash App, is Cash App only in the USA? Anyways, if you win, got another entry? I'll get with you on the back end and send you whatever. We'll figure it out. Let's go. Meta Machine had 7 interesting name. Congratulations to you. I think a first time winner, right? I don't remember seeing your name win in the win column before. Congratulations. Here's what you do. It's pretty simple. Just email me eSIMstudios at gmail.com. Contact information should be down below. eSIMstudios at gmail.com. And I'll send you some money. Pretty easy. But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not and you're watching this. Try to do giveaways once a week, and as I mentioned, I'm going to do a phone giveaway here in the next month or two, so I'm going to get that going. So appreciate the time. Sorry I was so late. Hectic day. We'll be back tomorrow and maybe do another giveaway. Stay tuned. Take care. Good evening. Thank you. You too.